Hi everyone, it's Meredith, your evolutionary astrologer with soulnavigation.com. Go check out my website if you don't know me. I hope this isn't our very first introduction. I hope that you know me from all my other videos and maybe have even bought a astrology report from my store, or have gotten a personal reading with me or my incredible, fabulous team of psychics and astrologers. Go check them out at soulnavigation.com. But today is fun because we're going to talk about something a little bit different. We're going to talk about the three hottest, the three best lovers of the Zodiac. To tell you the truth, I'm going to actually do the top four because I'm going to give the MVP award to, we'll just come out of the gates with it, to, are you guys ready for this one? Aries. Aries gets my fourth place MVP position. You know, everybody wants to be the best lover. Everybody wants to think they're the greatest. Everybody has their ego sort of in this, but what we're going to do today is really fun. I hope you have your gorgeous natal chart. I hope you bought it from me. If not, you can get a free one on the internet, no big deal, but mine are gorgeous, easy to read. Check out the notes below on how you can purchase your natal chart. I designed it. I made it super easy to read. It's all color coded. There's a little cheat sheet there. And I designed it in a way that's just more simple for you to use. That's why I like it. It's hard for me to read a black and white chart. And I've been doing this for 23 years. So I'm going to give you 9 tips, 9 techniques to see sexuality in your own chart, to see if you're one of those hot lovers, to see how sexy are you. Now, this is different than the video that I did where I talked about the 3 most beautiful signs of the Zodiac. Beauty and sex don't necessarily go together. Sometimes they do if you're so blessed, but not always. You can have an absolutely incredible sexual experience with somebody who you have almost zero physical attraction to. I know, it boggles the mind, right? So in this video, I'm actually talking about sexual magnetism, your natural ease with your sexuality. I'm talking about the art of sex. I'm talking about the logistics of sex. I'm talking about sexual expression. What are the signs that are the top 3 hottest, sexiest, most alluring, masterful, most artful lovers of the Zodiac? And again, in 4th place, I give it to Aries. Why did I pick Aries for the MVP? Well, Aries are very passionate, but they are indomitable. They usually are unafraid to ask for what they need, what they want, what they like, and they're very direct and straightforward. They don't beat around the bush. You know exactly where they stand, and they usually have a great drive and force. And if you like to be seduced, Aries is not afraid to seduce you, male or female. They go after what they want, and sometimes it is just so refreshing. It's refreshing to not be confused, to not have to scratch your head, to figure out how to please a person, right? So they kind of hand you the instruction manual and say, do this, do that. Put your hand here, put your leg there, boom, boom, boom. They also kind of don't stall, and they don't make things linger forever. Aries is pretty quick to the point. Fire signs bring passion galore to the table. Water signs bring a emotional connection and a sensuality. Air signs create massive variety and creativity, a willingness to try anything, like an experimental willingness. Earth signs bring a sensuality where all of the senses can come alive. So each sign has its own merits in the bedroom. But what makes a truly great lover? I'm going to give you the 9 techniques for you to look in your own natal chart to see if you have one or all of these, and also to look at your partner's chart to see their sexual magnetism. There are chart signatures that can tell you if somebody has a natural, great rapport with themselves and with others as a lover. In number 3 position, can you guys guess which sign this is? By the way, this is my opinion after doing lots of research, lots of studies. I've been an evolutionary astrologer for 23 years. I feel like I've seen it all, heard it all through my large practice. I want you guys to guess the number 3 sign. In 3rd place is Pisces. Yes, I put Pisces. Pisces can merge so deeply. They are so intuitively aware of what their partner needs and wants. They are unafraid to cross boundaries, and your boundaries too. They don't always obey the rules. So you do need to be a little bit careful with Pisces because they can bend the rules and they can twist the rules. They also can take you into the out of bounds world. They can make you leave your body, bring very deep and soulful love making, or the art of really spiritual sexuality to the bedroom. When Pisces are evolved, they bring heaven to earth, earth to heaven. Utterly seductive, by knowing their partner so well. They're givers, and they're more interested in giving you an out-of-body experience than they are in receiving one. They also love ambiance. They love creating the total experience. You might think that they're not quite the mechanics of the zodiac, but they know how to intuit what it is you need. They can understand the differences in people. So they don't have like one shtick. They learn how to read your body like Braille. There's a lot of diversity with the Pisces. In number 2 position, who do I give it to? Are you guys ready? And this one might surprise people, but one of the things that I'll say about this sign is they don't usually get chosen for being the best lover. And so I think they're kind of the dark horse. There aren't real high expectations with this sign. And so therefore they don't have a lot of pressure on them. And they're not known to be the Casanova. But I'll tell you, can you guys guess? Guess down below in the comments and let me know what you think. I put in number 2 position, Virgo. I know it's going to be shocking for some, but why did I say Virgo? Well, Virgo is very ambidextrous. They are phenomenal with their hands. They're like potters on the potting wheel. Let your imagination roll. They are absolutely so skilled and so talented. They have their relationship with perfectionism down, and this is where they refuse to fail. They don't want to fail in the bedroom. They love to serve, they love to please, they love to cater, they love to nurture, they love to take care of you. They are phenomenal with the nuts and bolts and the details of the art of sexuality. They understand themselves, they understand you. Now, they might need a moment to get to know all of the buttons to push and all of the things to do that will rock your world. But I promise you, if you give them a little bit of time, they will master the art of having you. My number 1 choice for the very best lover of the zodiac, I think you guys can pretty much guess which sign it is. This one's pretty obvious, and I almost didn't do this video because it is just so obvious. I was really interested in picking my number 2, 3, and 4, which I kind of think we shouldn't even count this sign, and we should just say Virgo is 1, Pisces is 2, and Aries is 3. But let's give it up for the sign of sex, Scorpio, right? They are the most alluring and magnetic sexual sign of the zodiac, and they do win this arena. Now, I will say this with a caveat, because they are in first place pretty much across the board, in most people's opinion, the best lover of the zodiac. It comes with a lot of pressure now. It comes with a lot of heat. And it comes with really, like, when you're at the top of the charts, there's only one way to go, right? A Scorpio who is not a very good lover, that's a sad story. I'm telling you, there is a sad, sad story inside of that person, for sure. So what makes Scorpio so darn hot and good in bed? Let me tell you, they're ruled by both Pluto and Mars is the planet of sexuality, heat, and passion. And Pluto is the god of the underworld, but also the psychological makeup of the soul, and also the psychological mysteries of a soul. Scorpio also rules the genitals, but Scorpio brings this intense magnetic passion, this slow, calm, controlled, in control person, lover to the arena, and also can intuit like a Pisces and can merge so deeply that they actually can make you surrender yourself to them. So the combination of having this powerful hold and this magnetism, along with the craft of intuition and understanding what the other person needs, allows their partner to feel safe in submitting to their power. It's kind of like 50 Shades of Grey, if you will. And it's alluring and it's powerful and it's magnetic, and then it intuitively and instinctively knows how to bond. It masters its craft and refuses to lose like no other sign. So that's kind of the allure of Scorpio. It's both psychology and physicality merged. So the psychological and the physical manifested into one giant experience. Where with Virgo, the reason why I gave them number 2 is they really master the physical, and Pisces masters the emotional. So you can see that Scorpio brings both qualities to the bedroom, and it makes a really potent and powerful best lover of the zodiac. So let's talk about you now. What if you're not an Aries, a Virgo, a Scorpio, or a Pisces? Well, where do you have those signs? Now, because that's where you're going to bring a lot of this kind of energy, right? This kind of intensity to that arena. So now let's look at your chart and let's look at how can you tell if somebody's going to be a great lover. I have to say this with a caveat. Any sign can be a great lover. You can be a Capricorn and you can be a phenomenal lover. You can be a Cancer and you'll be a phenomenal lover. By the way, did you guys see my video, the top 3 best marriage mates of the zodiac? So this is not marriage. This is just the art form of sexual expression and lovers. This is not marriage. So also I want to invite you to go to my shop. The link is in the notes below. And if you really want to know about your lover and how your lover perceives you and what kind of compatibility you have with your lover, you should buy my lovers package or my lovers report. It is so fantastic. And it goes deep into the compatibility. It talks about the emotional and the sexual and the long-term commitment potential inside your relationship, kind of the love and the hate that makes up your relationship, what to look for and what you can benefit from. Or you could also, if you don't want to get a report, you could get a love reading from anybody on Team Soul Navigation. So let's go into tip number 1. Do you have Mars by any chance in Virgo, in Pisces, in Aries, or in Scorpio? Those are my top 4 best lover signs. And if you do, well, Mars is your sexuality. It is your sexual expression. And I pretty much want to say that that opens you up to having the potential to be a phenomenal lover. So number 2, do you have a stellium in the 1st house or in the 8th house? Now, why do I pick the 1st and the 8th? Well, the 1st and the 8th are in the natural zodiacal wheel. They are the houses ruled by Mars, and Mars is your sexuality. So if you have a lot of personal planets in the 1st or the 8th, those are the houses that create sexual drive, sexual stamina, sexual energy, and a good lover. This is somebody who is sort of preoccupied with sex. If you've got 3 or more planets, mostly personal planets, but I'll also allow you to have 2 personal planets, and then you could have Neptune or Pluto. You could also have Jupiter as well. Then I would say you would come with a giant sexual appetite, a giant preoccupation with sex, and probably a lot of potential to be one hot tamale. However, I would not include in there Uranus or Saturn. Those are not the sexy planets. Those don't make or create real sexuality. They create other things, but not sexuality. If you've got, let's say, Saturn, Uranus, and the moon, I'd say not really. If you had Saturn, Neptune, and Jupiter, not so much. But if you had Venus, Mars, and Pluto, I'd be like, hell to the yes. Okay, so you need 2 personal planets, at least 2 personal planets, and Jupiter, Neptune, or Pluto as the 3rd planet. And if you had Jupiter, Neptune, and Pluto, and that's all you had in the 1st or the 8th, I might give it to you too. So tell me what combination you have in the notes below. Just leave me a little comment, and I try to answer as many comments as I can. Sometimes it takes a little while, so come back and check and see if I did comment, and I will tell you about your lover's chart signature. Are you a sexy lover? Are you sexy? Are you magnetic? Are you sexually alluring? Are you seductive? Are you a Casanova? Okay, so now let's talk about the 7th and the 8th house. So the 7th and the 8th house also creates a lot of allure. The 7th house creates kind of a popularity where you're really desirable and probably beautiful. And then the 8th house is the house of sexuality. So do you have your Venus, your Mars, or your North Node, or your Sun on the descendant? Now, the descendant is the line exactly across from the ascendant, and it is the line, the doorway, the cusp into the 7th house. And if you have it on the descendant within 5 degrees, so it could be 5 degrees in the 6th house or 5 degrees in the 7th house. So if you've got it close to the descendant, that is very, very magnetic. That amplifies your desirability, and you are probably seen as some sort of goddess or some sort of like just a yumalicious, a delicious, fabulous, hot lover. This makes your Venus so magnetic, or Mars, or your North Node, or your Sun. Or do you have those planets in the 8th house. Now, if they're in the 7th house, but they're farther away from the descendant, it still works. It's just a little bit less strong. It's stronger closer to the descendant. Okay, this one is super easy. Tell me if you have this one. Do you have Mars and Venus conjunct or in happy aspect to one another? This would be trine, sextile, or like I said, conjunct. So this is the way you move. This is the way you say hello. This is the way you appeal to others. This is the way you walk into the room. This is your swag. And so if you've got a happy Mars Venus and they work together, love and sex or beauty and sex go together. And this usually makes for a really magnetic, sexy, beautiful, gorgeous specimen of a person. Okay, are you guys getting this? Are you getting this? This is a little bit easier, right? Easier to hunt for these aspects. And do you have these aspects in your chart? And can you relate to this? And it's really fun to see this in your partner's chart. Or if you're going out on a first date and you want to know about, what's this person going to be like? Am I going to like this chemistry? Do we have chemistry? Do they have chemistry inside of their own selves? Because if I don't have the chemistry inside my own self, it's certainly extra hard to get the chemistry going and fired up with another person, right? So if you have these aspects in your own chart, the chances are you are one hot tamale in your own life, wherever you go. Number 5, do you have Venus and Mars or Venus or Mars? Hopefully Venus and Mars, but Venus or Mars works also in aspect to your rising sign. Do you? This is your persona. This is how you walk through the world. This is how you ask the world to see you. This is the mask that you wear. This is how you show up and how you say hello. And if you have a Mars Venus in aspect to your ascendant, let's say your Mars is trine to your ascendant and your Venus is sextile, there you go. Mars conjunct the ascendant and Venus trine the ascendant. There you go. It's like, wow, you're going to be revered, regarded, and you're going to feel like you have a lot of powerful sexual magnetism and beauty. This is one of the hottest aspects. If you have your Mars and your Venus in aspect to your rising sign, doors open for you. People desire you. This is where, if you're a woman, women want to be you and men want to be with you. This is just like this magnetic pull to you. So tell me about your Mars and your Venus in relationship to your ascendant. And by the way, squares don't count. I don't count quincunxes and semi-sextiles, but I will tell you that the only opposition I would count with this would be if it's pretty exact. Meaning if Mars or Venus sits right smack on the descendant. And I would give that like 3 to 5 degrees in an opposition, but further than 5 degrees, no. I wouldn't give it. It has to be tight in order for it to touch that ascendant. Okay, so this one is interesting. This is your midheaven, and this is the line between the 9th and the 10th house. This is your public persona. This is your highest self. This is the highest point in the chart. This is how you will be revered. This is how you will be remembered. So I want to know if you have your Venus, your Mars, or your Pluto on your midheaven, again, by 5 degrees. So either 5 degrees in the 9th house or 5 degrees in the 10th house from that degree on the midheaven sign. So if you've got Taurus at 10 degrees as your midheaven, then I would say anything between 5 degrees Taurus and 15 degrees Taurus, if you've got Pluto, Venus, or Mars there, that is so sexually alluring. That catapults you to this top dog level, this alpha level, right, of just oozing sexuality. And you might like climb the Billboard charts because you're just gorgeous to look at and yummy to look at. These people usually don't have a hard time showing off their sexuality. They usually show it off in some way. They can be very alluring to the entire world or the whole public. They can be a sex symbol. And you can have Venus and Pluto there, or Pluto and Mars there, Mars and Pluto there, any combination. But if you have all three, oh my gosh, I want to know you, and I want to know if you're considered a sex symbol in your pocket, in your community. There's a lot of power and a lot of influence with this aspect. So have you guys been watching this whole series, my top 3 series? I hope so. You'll have to tell me if you like it. And do you have another top 3 that you'd like for me to do? Just put it in the comments and I would love to consider it for you. What What do you want to know about next? How to see what in the chart? Let me know if you're liking this series and if you've watched the whole series. I've been having a lot of fun doing it. Number 7, we have to talk about Pluto. And remember that Pluto is the other ruler to Scorpio. And so it comes with psychological power. And this is why Scorpio can be a little bit dangerous too, because they come with this like psychological one-upsmanship. Like they can get your deal psychologically. They have sort of this double power, but we have to talk about Pluto because it is huge when it comes to magnetic sexual reception, like if you're received in a very positive sexual way. So one thing I want to tell you about Pluto, if you have a really strong Pluto, if it's in a strong place or if it's aspected in your chart in numerous ways, is that Pluto is not always beautiful. As a matter of fact, it's oftentimes not attractive at all. And so Pluto is magnetic and it is powerful, but it's kind of like the power of the beast in Beauty and the Beast rather than the prince in Cinderella. It's kind of like Al Pacino or Jack Nicholson characters, where it has this magnetic allure and this gravitational pull when you don't even know why it's there. Like you're baffled on why you even like this person or why are you even attracted to this person because they're not even remotely your type. Pluto can cast a spell on you. It is so powerful, so potent, and it sort of F's with your mind. And it has kind of a hold on you or a hold over you. And it can get you to be just crazy obsessed about a person for reasons you don't even get. So if you have Pluto on the ascendant, this is magnetically, sexually drawing people in. It is very, very, very powerful. It's stoic. It's buttoned up. It's calm, cool, and collected. You do not see Pluto rising sweat ever. Ever. You just don't see them sweat. Trust me, they do sweat. They do get nervous. They just don't show it. This is a tough guy persona, and this can even be a bully. Like the shadow side of Pluto rising is so awful and so ugly. It is daunting and it is intimidating. But in the sexual arena, if this person is kind and lovely and healthy and just a good, decent, high quality person, this can be so alluring that you can be seduced ordering a Dairy Queen milkshake in the drive-thru and they're Pluto rising. I mean, you could just be like, okay, can I get 2 milkshakes? I'm just saying, like, these people can be so mesmerizing that you can be doing something as stupid as ordering a Dairy Queen milkshake and they can have you on your knees obsessed for them for no reason. Tell me if you've got Pluto rising and if you have this magnetic quality. These people oftentimes are dressed a little taboo, very Joan Jett, you know, their hair, they've got tattoos, they might have the long beard, they might, you know, they just probably have this bad boy or, you know, badass goddess, if you will, persona about them that can make another person just compulsively obsess over them. It's a very complex and tricky trickster magician in this aspect, but it can just bring a person to their knees. These people also, they don't succumb, they don't submit. So if you're involved with a Pluto rising person and they submit to you, oh my God, we have to look at your Pluto. Where's your Pluto? What's your Pluto doing to their Pluto? Because Pluto risings, they don't submit. No. And if you're a Scorpio rising, you're a lot like this. It's more potent if it's Pluto, but Scorpio risings will have a little seasoning of this. It's very complex. They like power. They like control. So they never give it to you. You will be their victim. Tread lightly with these people. Know what you're getting into. Know what you're doing. And don't be careless with these people. Make sure they're healthy. When the shadow side of Pluto rising shows its face, it can be dangerous. It can be hard. Okay, while we're talking about Pluto, I want to give you my technique number 8. And this one can be kind of dangerous too. And I don't necessarily recommend this one, but I am going to tell you that there is an aspect that does bring up a real, like a deep sexual intensity, kind of a smoldering lava underneath the surface. It's kind of like, you know, when you have the fire, the hottest part of the fire is the blue. That's this energy. That's Pluto. So do you have Venus conjunct Pluto? That is so obsessive and sexually compulsive. Or do you have Pluto conjunct Mars? Also, I have to say, do you have these aspects, Pluto to Venus, Pluto to Mars, in trine or in sextile? Now, I am not talking squares or oppositions, because that just goes into a way other zone. But if you've got it in harmony, so that would be conjunction, sextile, or trine between Pluto and Venus and Pluto and Mars, that brings out all of what I was just talking about. Like with Pluto on the ascendant, that's an enormous, powerful sexual appetite, sexual drive, sexual obsession, sexual compulsion. And it can also make the world perceive you that way, where they're sexually obsessed with you and your magnetic power. You know, your magnetism can just be like overwhelming. It's very, very Al Pacino, if you will. Do you guys know who Al Pacino is? You know, it's like mob boss. Also very alpha. You know, it is not a submissive. It's 50 Shades of Grey for sure. This is my tip number 9. I'm sorry I don't have 10 tips for you. I looked, but I could only really find 9 to talk about it in a simpler way. So this is my last tip. So before I say that, I just want to really encourage you all to become a super supporter. And I hope you're coming to my party next Saturday. It's on July 24th. And if you're a super supporter, you get to, I'll put the notes below. I'm going to teach you how to do predictions. It is going to be amazing. I'm going to really teach you deeply how to read your natal chart. So please come to my party. You can sign up in the notes below. I'll leave the link there. You just need to bring your natal chart. You can get a free one on the internet, or you can get a gorgeous one in my shop. And I also really encourage you to get a reading with someone at Team Soul Navigation. Just go to my website, soulnavigation.com, click on book a reading, and you can see everyone on my team. They are so gorgeous and such good readers. You will love them. You will cherish your time. So tip number 9, we have to talk a little tiny bit about the North Node. So do you have Venus, Mars, or Pluto conjunct the North Node? Now, the North Node is this big, powerful placement in your chart. And I've been doing my live streams on the North Node, and I hope you guys have watched my nodes series. I have 2 videos out about it and I'm going to do another live stream with the nodes, and if you subscribe and ring the bell, you'll get a notification on that. And I've had so much positive feedback on the nodes. But the North Node is a sexual indicator when Venus, Mars, or Pluto sits on it. So tell me if you have this, because this is no small thing. Also, I want to say that if you have your North Node with Venus, Mars, or Pluto, and you have that in the 8th house, that's also a really big hot lover indicator. It would say that you have an opportunity to be just a phenomenal sexual partner. But the North Node is really interesting because it's a magnifier. It is this place of mastery, what you're supposed to be preoccupied with and what you're supposed to master. And so if you've got that placement there, then this intimacy and the art of sexuality is a piece of what you're here to learn. Not just that, but that is one thing that's pretty big. And so we do need to look at that North Node placement. And do you have that with Mars, Venus, or Pluto, or all of them? And if that's you, I want to know you. So leave a comment below. And I like your comments because it really helps other people learn. It helps other people understand their placements better. It sort of gives everybody examples to learn from. And so it's really lovely when you leave a comment for other people to learn too. Anyways, I hope you like this video, and I hope that you learned a lot about your own chart. And if you're a hot tamale too, be sure to leave in the notes comment what aspects you could relate to. I just wish you the very best from my home here in Seattle to you, wherever you're at in the world. Let me know. I love having people from all around the world watch my videos and take part in this community. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe and share my video. Take good care. I wish you the best. Bye.